has been a while since I did a beginner Seint makeup tutorial, and today seems like the perfect time. I was putting together one of my size 12 palettes and I thought, this is what I recommend for all my customers, and why not do it with you today? It is the most universal palette because it's small enough but big enough, and I'll just go through quickly what's in it, and then let's do our makeup together because I want to show you how easy it is to do your makeup, especially if you're like me, if you're over 50. I'm 57. I discovered this makeup 3 years ago, and it is the best makeup for mature skin, especially if you want to look younger, feel like yourself but better, and you don't like a thick, heavy makeup. You just want a very light, minimal, natural look, then you're in the right place. The 12 palette. I love it because of the size. You can fit 6 different highlight, blush and cheeks, bronzers, illuminators on the top level, and there's a little mirror right here, and then on the bottom level you can fit either another set of 6 larger tins like this size, or you can do smaller ones like the eyeshadows like this. I've just put a few fun colors to do today with you. I have a brush tile cleaning little tile, and then this is a feather blotting dust, which is like this really great blurring powder. It's the bomb. So let's do a quick makeup together. If you're new here and you've never seen this makeup before, it's cream makeup. Each of these little tins is a different color. Obviously, these are 2 foundation type colors. This is a contour. I've got an illuminator right here and 2 lip and cheeks. This is more of a satin, so this would be more for lip and cheeks. And this is a gloss, which you can use for both, but I put it in here because I like to put gloss on my lips. And then I showed you what was on the bottom, which is eyeshadows. I like to keep them separated in case you ever dropped it. You wouldn't get powders into your creams, so my creams are on a different level. And some ladies like to put their eyeshadows on the top so that they can look in the mirror when they're doing their eyeshadows. But for some reason, I didn't start with any eyeshadows, and so my top layer has always been just where I start with my face. And you can assemble your palette any way you want because it's 100% customizable to you. So I'm only going to use 2 colors today for my face. I'm going to use a brightener, and I'm going to use a color corrector, and then I'm going to use a contour. So let's get going and do that together. I'm going to quickly put my hair back, and I have been really loving the Plush Prep Mist. This is like a priming spray. This is what it's called, Plush Prep Mist. I love this. It is so great in sort of prepping your skin for makeup. It's great at setting your makeup. It's actually really good to apply after you've put your makeup on and before you blend it. So there's so many great ways to use this, and you can also put it on as a refresher. So if you're, let's say, on a plane or it's the end of the day and you just feel like you need a little oomph or you need just some more hydration, you can spray this over your makeup. Your makeup will not fall off or slip off your face or anything like that. What it'll just do is it'll just refresh you. It has a really nice, clean scent. It's not overly scented because I don't like scented things, but it just feels so good. Now I'm gonna let it dry on my face. Now if it's not drying fast enough, you can get a little fan. I have a fan like this that I could use, and I also have a fan that is rechargeable, which I really like. Where is it? Oh, I feel it. And it's like this. And so this has a little USB charger right there, and this is awesome. I love this. And you can travel with it as well. And if I could only open it, there you go. So it's like that. And it has different levels of speed. And ooh, don't put your finger there. And then it feels really good. So you can also use this as well to dry it. But you don't want to put your makeup on unless your spray, your primer, is dry on your skin. So this is just a quick way to dry it, to speed it up so that we can do this together and this video doesn't go for too long. So, and then it goes to a higher speed and then off, and then you can put it away, which is great. This is also really good if you're traveling and it's really hot. We go to Disney World a lot, and I take this with me in my bag, and then I can use it when we're standing in line or if it's way too hot. I know, it's It's kind of crazy, but it really is nice. Okay, so now my face feels like it is ready for makeup. Now I have washed my hands. My hands are clean. I like to apply the makeup with my fingers. Now, a lot of people like to use a brush. That is totally fine. You can totally do that. Just make sure if you're a beginner with this makeup that you are just dabbing lightly into the foundation. For instance, let me just grab a brush. Like, so if you're gonna go into a brush like this, you wanna lightly tap in and apply to your skin lightly. That is totally doable. You just don't want to swipe into the makeup because you're going to pick up way too much product and then you're going to have a hard time blending it and it's going to get thick and cakey. So this is meant to be a very, very thin layer because you want it to move with your face and become like a second skin. So that's really, really important. But I'm going to go with my fingers. I think it's really important, especially if you're a beginner with this, is to feel it and to apply it with your fingers. Again, it's totally personal preference. Do what you feel most comfortable with. I'm just more tactile and I like using my fingers. So I'm just gonna tap in, and this is my lighter color. I have two right here, and this is more of a, here, I just need a little bit more, like a brightener on your skin. And I'm putting it in different places because I want to highlight the middle of my face and make it brighter. And so those are the places. I'm gonna take the first color and the second color, tap into both, just tap, and I'm gonna put it on my eyelids because this is gonna act as a primer, but it's also going to minimize the redness around my eyelids and then the little veiny things that I have. I'm gonna take the same second color. Now it looks a little orange, but the point of that is it's going to color correct all the redness around my skin. And I have a little redness around my nose. And as you can see, I'm doing a really light, thin application like this. Okay, and I just want to color. I have a little scar right here I want to get. I have a little dark spot right here I want to get. And I have some redness over here. And I try not to layer colors in too many places because that's where you get into having a heavier, thicker makeup. I have some redness in here. I have some sunspots in here, and I'm gonna cover that with the contour and then blush. But I could go in if I really wanted to and just cover that up. And I see how that kind of covers that up right there and minimizes that. So I could do that, and I'll just continue here because that's what we're doing right now. I'm gonna show you how that minimizes and covers. So I have a little spot right there. Cover that too. Well, that one's not going to actually work very well. And then I have some redness down here on my chin. And okay, I think I've gotten everything with those two colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to again then go in with the blush bronzer brush. Now this is a great starter brush. It's got a big fluffy end here. This is great for bronzer, powder, and I love this big end. And then this side is the blush section, and you can see it's a little denser, thicker bristle. It's super soft, and I like the round head of it because it is a really nice way of blending and pushing the makeup into your skin. So I like to start on the bottom. If you notice, I didn't put any makeup right here. I didn't do anything up here. I barely did some I didn't really do any here. So I'm gonna go in and start at the bottom and work my way up. So blending as I go, and I like to just push it into my skin like this as a second skin. And what it's gonna do is just blend seamlessly into my skin. And just be careful, if you are like me and you have these wrinkles right here, see this little wrinkle right here and this little wrinkle right here, you just wanna make sure that you're not, if either you pull it aside, go like this, make sure that it's not settling into that line right there. So just be careful. And then right here, you can see how it's kind of creating a line right here in my, see how that's making a line right there? So you just want to make sure that you're not settling it into that like smile line, right? So just know what's happening with your skin, and once you blend it, it'll just become, like I said, a second skin, very, very thin layer. So it won't get cakey, and you're not going to see, you don't see that line in there anymore. but just make sure. And I may go back and just fix some redness if I feel like I need it. I feel like today I need a little bit more than normal. And then, I don't know why, my bangs, I like to do the color right here, this lighter color here. It gives you a little facelift. And then a little bit over here. Again, I need a better little clip. Do I have another clip? I don't think I do. Oh well, we'll just hold it back. And then up here, I'm just gonna blend that in there. If you have 11s and you're worried about that, just make sure you're not getting them in those little fine wrinkles on your face. And you know, I have the wrinkles, so, and then go down your nose because you had some on your nose. And then I do my eyes last because I want to have the makeup, the cream, warm to my skin, and I just lightly tap in on it, and whatever is on my eyelid is going to transfer down here. So I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't put any makeup down into the bottom of my under eye right here because I don't want that to get cakey. So whatever was right here on my eyelid, when I go like this, a light layer will transfer below. Now if you have more or deeper dark circles, then that's something that we would address when we do your color match, and I would help you with what to do in your under eyes to correct that so that you don't have creasing, that you put the right color in the right place. And usually we may use a different color, a different brush, maybe we use demi. Those are all things that we can discuss when you send in your picture and your color match, and I can help you with that. But for me, I don't have a very big problem with my under eyes, and I'm okay with just a little bit of the highlight, the two colors that I use like that. So that is everything. I just want to make sure I blended everything, and I do have this crease right here, so I always want to double check that. I feel like every day something new is showing up on my face, and I don't really look at my face too deeply or all the time during the day. I wake up, I wash my face, I brush my teeth, and then I usually come in and do my makeup, and then I don't look at the mirror the rest of the day. You know, if I'm in and out of the bathroom, I'm not like focusing on my face. I try to keep my hands away from my face all day, and then at the end of the day, I wash my face, I look at my face again. So all of a sudden I notice, oh, okay, this is getting a little bit deeper. Okay, so just know your face, know where your little pitfalls could be. Now I did do some over here, so I wanna just make sure I blend that. Now you can see I do have this like freckle right here. It's still there, and that's okay. It just minimized the color around my cheekbones. So I just want to make sure there's nothing over there. So now it's blended into my skin. The next thing I want to do is now I'm going to use a detail brush. A detail brush is for contour. It has a really nice edge right there. I love this brush because it's got a flat head right there. I don't know if you can see, and then it has this edge. So this is really good for applying contour. You can do this, you can go down your nose, you can go down your jawline like this. It's a great brush. It is a really good beginner brush. So I always recommend this brush and the blush and bronzer. Those are the two that I recommend the most because, especially as a beginner, these will help you and be the best tools for you to apply the makeup. I'm gonna take this brush, I'm gonna go into my contour, which is this darker color right here. I'm just gonna tap in like this. I'm gonna pick it up sort of on the edge of the brush, so it's kind of like on the edge. I don't know if you can see that. And the key with contours, you don't wanna go past your eye, but you wanna go from your ear, kind of like this. So the rule of thumb is if you take your brush from the top of your ear to your mouth, that's kind of where your contour line will be. And it's usually sort of at the bottom of your cheekbone. So I just want to make sure I have it. And I like to just tap it in at this bottom of my cheekbone like that. See how it creates this line, right? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the same brush and I'm gonna kind of take the other side of it because I had the color here, right? And then I'm just gonna take the other edge and I'm gonna blend it up into my cheekbone like that, see? And it's really subtle and it shouldn't be, and you don't wanna move too much of it. You could also just tap it like I'm tapping it with the flat part. You could also do like that, right? And I have a sunspot right here, so I try to usually get on the other side of it so that it blends in and I'm using the actual problem of my skin as a positive, if that makes any sense. So now you can see I have this really nice shadow and dimension on my cheekbone. Now I have cheekbones, but I do want to give them a little bit more oomph, and my face feels like a little puffy and a little round. I'm a little heavier than I like to be, but I think it's better for wrinkles if you're a little heavier, right? I mean, that's what I'm telling myself. So I'm gonna go in with the other end. I actually went and I went to have a physical yesterday and they weighed me and I was like, oh, yeah, I didn't lose the weight I wanted to lose, but it's okay. I live in a vacation place. I live in Florida and it's vacation here for most people. And so we have friends visiting all the time and it's really hard not to. So see how I just lightly tapped on this side and created this shadow? And you don't want to move contour too much because the point of it is you want it to create the shadow. So you can see the difference. It's pretty much the same, but I did kind of a little bit of a different technique on this side. Okay, and then for your forehead, now let me see if I can get these bangs out of my, so that it's easier for you to see. Let me just pop these up. I've been playing with having a sort of a longer bang fringe and I'm really liking it, but I keep forgetting when I'm doing my makeup and I need to show you what I'm doing that they kind of get in the way. Okay, so this time I'm just gonna tap down on my detail brush and I'm just gonna tap it like this. Now you can also blend it. Just make sure when you're blending this, well, obviously I have a little hair here, but you wanna make sure that you're getting into your hairline. So you can see I have a sort of a lighter line right here. I just wanna make sure I'm getting in there and I'm creating a nice shadow. I'm just gonna tap it in. You can also go along the edge like this and you can do this if you want. There's no rules here. It's really what works best for you. You don't want to take your contour right here and here because there's already a dip. And as we get older, this dip can get a little bit more. And so putting a darker color right here is going to make it recede. And that we don't want that, right? So don't take your contour into here, but you can sort of end it right here. And you know, once you take your hair down and you do all that and you do the rest of your face, it all blends really, really well together. Just, you don't want a line for your contour, right? Okay, so there's that. And then I like to take a little bit, not too much, and just come along the side of my nose like this and give a little bit of a shadow that's already there. So you can kind of brush it if you want like this. And I don't want it to be, some people like to go really tight into their nose like this. I kind of like just do it on the side. So I kind of go like this. And then sometimes I have enough on my brush, I can just use what's left over. And I've been known to look in the mirror after I get off. I'm like, whoa, I think I did a little bit too much contour. And you can do a little bit at the end of your nose if you feel like your nose needs that. And then some people like to do a little bit over the bridge of their nose to help narrow it down as well. Totally up to you. These are different things to think about. I do have a very high forehead. And as you can see, you could put a fifth finger there. So I definitely need a little bit of contour to bring down my forehead. Now, if you have a very shallow or short forehead, you may not need to do contour up there because your forehead is shorter than mine. Sort of the rule of thumb is anything over 4 fingers, you need contour. And I could definitely fit a fifth finger there. Okay, so then take a little bit and you can go along here into your jawline. You just want to make sure that it's not going to be a serious line, right? So just bring it down, whatever you use, bring it down your neck like this. And then you want to miss this section and this section right here, because you can already see the way that my skin is sort of sagging and loose, and I have the, party line right here. That I don't want to have this recede anymore. I want this to look, like it's all one line, but I do have jowls, I do have this indentation, and that's just the way it is. And it's embracing age and wrinkles and all the things, and it is what it is. And these little tricks are helpful. Like right here, I like to put a little bit here and down my neck like that. Okay, and it's very subtle, very light. You're gonna have to play with it, and I usually recommend some different contour colors to help you. And then there's a warm and a cool, and this one happens to be, I think I'm using Ash today. This is a new color for me, I'm trying it out. Okay, so that's everything as far as my face is concerned. And then let's go in. I think this is either pink watermelon or pink grapefruit. And I think it's watermelon. Let me just quickly pull it out and make sure I have the right name for you. pink grapefruit. So I was wrong, it's pink grapefruit. So this is pink grapefruit. It's got a little bit of shimmer in it. It's a satin, but I mean shimmer more like little gold flecks. It's so pretty. So let me give you a little swatch of that so you can see it. That is pink grapefruit. And I love it because it's just really springy and happy. And what I thought I would do today is go in with the shape brush. Now this is another brush that I really like. It's got a nice sort of domed top like that, round. It's really nice for tapping in blush, but that doesn't mean you can't use something like this. Same thing. This is just, this is a little denser of bristles versus this. See how this is kind of lighter and fluffier than this? So just two different options. You do not have to get another brush. You could always use this, but I just wanted to play around with this today and show you. And I'm gonna take the shape brush, I'm gonna tap it in and you can see, you don't have to pick up too much of the product. Hopefully you can see that. I've just done a little bit of product on there because, maybe I didn't even show you enough. And I'm gonna lightly tap it on and see how this just adds such a pretty pink. Now it's going above my contour, so I wanna bring it down just a little bit, and I wanna tap it in and bring a little bit forward to my cheeks like this. And you can always add more, go in light, add more, depending on how much you like. I just like this because the shape of this brush gets into this tin easier than that, because this is so big. Sometimes you can pick up way too much product. So I kind of like the shape brush because it picks up less, because it's a smaller head on it. So just tap it in, and you can always add more. And this is a great brush for this. I also like this brush because you can use the other end as well. So you could use this end for powder, you could use it on your eyelids, you can use it to apply. There's so many options for the other end as well. So this is, see how pretty this is? It gives this really gorgeous pink flush, but it's really neutral. It's more of a cool pink, and I just love this. I haven't used this one in a while, so pink grapefruit. So pretty. Okay, so there's that. And then what do we need to do next? Let's do a little bit on our eyes, not too much. I think we wanna, let's do our eyes, and then we'll end with Illuminator and our lips. So for our eyes, I've already done a primer with my two colors. What I'd like to do is I'm just gonna do my eyebrows real quick. So I always recommend doing your eyebrows. And in this palette, I did not put the brow wax. What I thought I would do is use my Angel, which is the gel for your eyebrows. So this is a brow gel. It has this great little comb on it, and you can just comb it right through your brows like this. I highly recommend, especially at our age, to use some sort of brow gel or brow wax, whichever you prefer, and shape your brows, because this is so important. You also might want to fill them in if they're very, very sparse. And brows are what give our face and our eyes definition. And I really think it's important to do something there. I put on and off my reading glasses, and sometimes I hit my brows, but this gel keeps it intact and they don't move. It doesn't feel sticky or hard, and it's just sort of dries, and it just creates this nice shape that stays all day long. So I highly recommend using something like this. I do like this Angel gel. I also like to use the, do I have it here? Oh, I have it over here, sorry. I have a brow wax like this. I need to get a new one, but you just rub your spoolie in it and put it in like that. I also like having this because it's really easy in my palette. So there's that option as well. Okay, so let's do a quick easy eye, like an everyday natural eye look. I thought we could use some, maybe a little bit of, I think this is basic, and then let's just make sure. Sometimes I don't remember that no, it's chai. Oh, okay, I picked chai. I picked chai because I thought it would be nice to do this gorgeous Ember. This is one of the new colors that came out, seasonal shade, through the end of April 2025. And I just thought this was such a pretty color, and I wanted to use that today. So this is Ember. And let me just do it's like marbled. It's got like really pretty pink, and I don't know if you can see it. It's so pretty, but here it's kind of a swatch of it. So I thought I could use that with a little bit of Chai and then Philly as an eyeliner. So this is Philly, so it's dark brown. So let's do that. Let's go in with Chai and Ember, and then a little bit of Philly as an eyeliner. So and the best thing about this palette, I don't know if you can tell because I didn't have it up, but you can take these little tins out and then pop them back in. And because it's magnet, you can sort of place it wherever you want, like that. Let's put these 3 like that, and they stay in your palette. So it's totally customizable as far as putting things in and taking them out. It's awesome. And then you can just pick the colors that you like for you. And I'm gonna use my brush tile cleaning little tile here. I'm just gonna wipe off whatever color I had on this brush before. This is an eyeshadow brush. And let's go into Chai. And as you can see, I already did my sort of primer with the 2 colors in the beginning. I'm gonna tap into Chai, tap off anything that's on the brush, and I'm just gonna wash the whole lid with Chai. And this is just gonna be a really sort of skin color kind of wash all over. Maybe give a little dimension to my eyes. And I'm going to do this real quick. And this shouldn't take a lot of time. It should be really fast like this, right? And then I like to turn the brush over. I'm just gonna clean it. I'm gonna go back into Chai, tap off any extra, and I like to just go under as well, right? Same thing on this side as well. And then it just frames your eye like that, right? Okay, so next I'm gonna take a little bit of this Ember, and it has a little shine and a little shimmer. So I'm gonna use my finger, I'm gonna go in with my pinky, I'm gonna turn this to the other side and look in the mirror because I wanna see, and I'm just gonna put it in the middle of my lid towards the outer edge like this. Just to add just a little color. And I try not to, I'm gonna use a brush so you can see. I try not to get powder in here, because if you can see the skin there, I have crepey skin like right there and right there. So I try to keep the shimmer to the middle of my eye and out so that it doesn't get into that little, oh, I need to look in the closer mirror. So it doesn't get into that like dry, crepey skin. And that everyone's eyes and skin is different, but for me, I find that if there's shimmer in that area, it attracts, you know, like a funny like look right there. So I don't really like that, but I'm gonna come in close so you can kind of see. And hopefully that'll zoom in. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take our new brush. This is the point brush, and I did use blue with it before. It's 2-sided. It's got the same point on both sides. And what I'm gonna do is, actually I think this side is pretty clean. I'm just gonna wipe it off. I am gonna take my setting spray, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of setting spray into the lid here. And I am going to take my point brush. Now you could either do that, or you could take the spray and spray it like this, but I kind of like putting it in the lid like this and just making sure that it's wet. Now I hope I got some in there. I think I did. Okay, and we'll see. And then I'm gonna go into Philly. And the key to this, the key to this is you don't wanna put your wet brush in the middle. You just sort of wanna do it on the side because that's not gonna mess with the product in the middle. So I'm just going over here to pick up some of the, yes, it's definitely wet enough. Picked up a lot, so let me just see how much. Yeah, it picked up a lot. So see how it picked up and made a really nice dark eyeliner. So that's great. So let's go in and we're gonna create an eyeliner with this Philly. And I'm just gonna go along my lashes like this. I love this new brush. It's so needed. We didn't have anything on the line that was thin. And I like, see how that makes it such a big difference? It looks like eyeliner, doesn't it? And all you're doing is taking a really thin brush into one of your eyeshadow colors with some setting spray. And the setting spray is going to set it for you. So it's awesome. So I'm just gonna go onto the other side. I don't think I need to pick up any more. I feel like it's, maybe I do. Maybe I need a little more. Yeah, I need a little bit more. It didn't pick up as much. I think I used most of it. So just whatever's left on my brush, I'm just gonna go in like that. And then the key is for me, oh yeah, that's so much better. The key for me, I was gonna say, is blending it so that it's not, I'm just gonna go in here underneath my lashes like this. Go over it one more time. Like that. Okay, so then, now that I've done that, I'm gonna take a brush and smudge it a little bit. And let me find a good one to do that with. I kind of like the Lash brush. The Lash brush is kind of great. And the Lash brush has this little soft point on this end. And let me show you the Lash brush. This is great. This is for applying mascara to your lashes, the lower lashes. But this point is kind of great because it's soft, and I am just gonna rub it in there to create some dimension. So I'm just gonna go along here. Oh, this is perfect. And it's just gonna smudge it. I'm gonna bring it up like that. So as much as I made kind of an eyeliner, I kind of smudged it out, and I like how that looks. I think I have more on this side than I had on the other, so I may have to go back. Oh yeah, I definitely have more. This became totally two different eye looks, but that's okay, I can fix it. Okay, so those are two different ways you can use and smudge. I put way more of the Philly eyeliner on this side, and so when I smudged it, you see how that just made it more smudgy and sort of more in the corner, and this is softer and not as much, so I can do the same. I can fix that. I can go in with a little bit more of the shadow on this brush, and I can make it even. Now I know this is a beginner. See how I added a little bit more? And you just have to double check that it's even. Because sometimes that's the hard part, is making eyeshadow and eye stuff even. Okay. Okay, let's go up like that. And go under. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back into Ember, because I feel like I brushed it off, and I'm just gonna add it a little bit more like this on top. Yeah. And I'm gonna go in with the brush again. And that's what I wanted to do. Okay, now, it's a little bit more eye than I was meaning to do, but you get the drift. Okay, so let's put some mascara on. To do that, we need our eyelash curler, and it'll all come together in a minute. We gotta do lips and Illuminator, and then our beginner Seint makeup tutorial is almost over. And I love the fact that it's just easy. Like, I'm doing a more glam eye look today because I was kind of in the mood for it, but you do not have to do that. You can do something like just a wash of color. This is the Seint new Velvet Mascara, and I'm just gonna put that on. And it's hard to talk and do that at the same time. I think you have to do play with the makeup as far as the eyeshadows and stuff, and you can go really light, you can build the color, you can do less. It's kind of fun. There's so many options, so many different colors to choose from, so it makes a big difference. Okay, so there is the eyes. The last thing I'm gonna do for my eyes, I'm gonna take that same shape brush, and what did I do with it? Oh, it's right here. So one thing you can do is go into the Feather Blotting Dust. This is like a blurring powder, and you can take the smaller end of the shape brush, and I like to put it right here on the top because this kind of cleans up the makeup, and you can see how that just lightly, and you can take a little bit in here. Now this might be a little bit too big of a brush, but it will work. And then you can come down your face and blur any sort of areas that you don't want, sort of pores or whatever. I like doing a little bit like right here, and then like right here where I have kind of a dip. Sometimes that helps blur the lines. You can come down under your nose, like right here. If you don't want it too shiny, you can go in like that, right? And then let's take my hair down so you can sort of see the full look, and then we'll do our lips. So see how that totally softened the eyeshadow just by doing that? It looked really bold, and then just by cleaning it up with that feather blotting dust, it's amazing. That is like one of my favorite products. Okay, for our lips, I thought I would take my multitasker brush. This is a great dual brush. It's got this light, soft, domed, it's great for lipstick. And then it's got a finer point, and it's a little thicker and stiffer than the On Point, because the On Point is very sort of bendy, and this one's more of a good liner as far as for your lips. So I'm gonna just go in to my contour. I'm gonna tap in with the small point of this brush, and I'm gonna line my lips. And I like to just do like this. Now you can use your contour, you can use the suede lip liner, and I love the option that it's right in your compact and in your palette, like this. And I don't go too far out, I gotta go like that, right? So then I'm gonna take my other end, and I'm just gonna tap a little bit into this pink. And this is a satin, so it's more like a stain and a matte, right? And then I'm gonna go into La Cienega, which is a favorite, which is a gloss, and put that on top. Now the best thing is you can, isn't that great? Layer two. The other thing you can do, if you want a little bit more sheen on your cheeks, you could also just take the same shape brush, go into the gloss, and add a little bit of sheen on top of your blush like this. And then the last thing we want to do is go into our illuminator. Again, you can take the same brush, you can take your fingers, tap in, and I like to sort of put it on the top of my cheekbones like this. It adds a really pretty glow, and if you use the brush, it sort of diffuses it. You can put a little down your nose if you want, whatever. You can also take a little bit of your blush and add it to your forehead, like, you know, just a little color. Like if you had sun, I'm just gonna blend it like that to give a little color. You put a little bit on your nose, like that, like if you were out in the sun and you got a little color, like that, just to even out the color on your face. And that's it. That's all I've got for you. The last thing you could use if you want just a little bit more gloss, I love a gloss. You could use one of the lip oils on top. This is Marshmallow. I love it. It's so pretty. It's like a white. And it just adds that like little finishing touch that's like great. So today, everything that I used is in this one palette. Everything is 100% customizable to you. You can pop in whatever colors that you like. I highly recommend getting a color match because that's where I match you to the colors of your skin tone. And then if you have anything like I do, like redness, melasma, maybe you have sunspots, maybe you have some acne scarring or something like that, I help you with the right colors that will minimize those things for you. So sometimes it's not just 2 colors, but I will match you to 3 colors for your face and a contour. And then you can have fun with lip and cheeks and illuminators, eyeshadows, and all the things. But I highly recommend this size because it fits everything you really need right in here. And then you have room for just a few eyeshadows. And if you don't even want eyeshadows, you can do more lip and cheeks or whatever else down here. But this is a great size because you can always have room to grow. And it fits in any pouch, any bag, anything like that. And then as far as brushes, I highly recommend the blush and bronzer. I think the detail is really good. You can really get away with just these two brushes. If you go with eyeshadows and you don't already have an eyeshadow brush, obviously you would need one of that. And then if you put your brow wax in here, then you would get a spoolie. If not, you could get one of these little gels for your, what do you call it, your eyebrows. And then, you know, of course you need some sort of mascara. You may already have one that you love, an eyelash curler. And look, all these things, maybe a lip oil, all these things will fit into a little tiny makeup bag that you can take on the go with you. It's TSA approved. It is so convenient. I have been known to do my makeup in all kinds of places because I just need quick and easy. I mean, I'll do it on the plane, I'll do it on a train, on a boat, in a taxi, in an Uber, in the car. And hey, you know, it shouldn't take a lot of time. It should be really quick. And once you get really used to it, without doing, you know, your eyes like this, you could do a really quick, fast, just basic makeup, lip, cheek, do your eyebrows, do a wash on your eyelids, and you're out the door. Natural, minimal, gorgeous over 50 makeup that's so easy. And you look younger and you feel great because you're not wearing cakey, heavy makeup. Your skin will breathe, and it really is just the best makeup for women our age. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely leave me a comment. Let me know where you are in your makeup journey. Is this something you've ever tried? Are you interested in giving it a try? You know, what questions do you have for me? I would love to help you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. You will get notified when new videos go up, and I totally would appreciate seeing you again in another one of my videos. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.